Hello, welcome to Mystery Stamping. I am Chrissy Graham in Brisbane, Australia. I am sorry I'm a little bit late this morning. I have a really bad migraine and I was just about to start filming and my darling husband decided he would start hammering right outside the window. So I'm hoping that a few of you are going to be stamping along with me today, and I do apologise for the lateness. So let's get started. So hopefully you've had an opportunity to grab your first clue. If you're watching, just make sure you say hello in the comments and we'll talk through the first clue. So you need to, first clue number one is gather your supplies. So get the stamp of your choice. Today I'm using a stamp from the mini catalogue, Playing in the Rain. Oh, buddy. Oh, good morning. Look, you only really need a couple of things. If you've got a piece of pattern paper and a card front and a card base and your paper trimmer, give us a go. You can still join us, you've got time. There'll be a few people who haven't got their stuff together either. So, sure, I don't have my head together, so. Alright. Sorry, I sounded a long way away. And it's hideously hot here in Queensland this morning. About, I think it's about 30 something, 34 degrees or something, I don't know. It's just horrible, 90% humidity. But yes. All right, let's talk about our clues. And I don't know why we're so zoomed in, but anyway. So you need your stamp, and if you're using dies or punches with that. So you need an image that will fit preferably inside a 2.5 inch circle. So this is why I'm using this fellow. He comes pretty close. You'll need some ink to coordinate with your pattern paper and cardstock. So you need a piece of designer series paper or pattern paper that is basically half a 6x6 piece. Now, a non-directional pattern is better, but if you have a directional pattern, that's okay too. We can work with that. You'll just need to know where the bottom of the pattern is. Now, you're going to see both sides of the paper, so you want to make sure that your cardstock will work with both sides of the paper. All right. Okay. The other thing you'll need is your card base. Now, today we're doing a fancy fold, and our card base is, you'll need some extra white or vanilla pieces. Your cardstock for your card base. I've cut mine at 5 3/4 inches by 4 inches. It's slightly smaller than 1/4 of a sheet of A4 cardstock. And the reason that it is like that is because it just, when it's to the closest 1/4 inch, it makes it easier to get everything lined up. That's the only reason I do it. Okay, so you've got those two pieces. You'll also need a piece of white or vanilla or neutral coloured cardstock, and it needs to be 1/4 of an inch, about 1/4 of an inch smaller than your card base. Okay, and if you're in Australia, in the US, just use the 1/4 sizes your quarter of your letter paper for your base and quarter of an inch smaller for your white or vanilla piece, okay? You'll still use the same size designer series paper. Okay, you'll then also need a circle, which is about 2 3/8 across. If you don't have a circle, use another shape. Use a square, use something like that. You can even emboss your circle if you wanted to, right? It just depends how you want your card to go. Then on top of that, you'll need a piece, another circle, which doesn't have to be the same color as your base card, but and if you don't have a circle, again, use the same shapes as the or a similar shape as your white shape, okay? All right, then you'll need your bone folder and your blocks or your stamparatus, your adhesive. You will definitely need a paper trimmer with a scoring attachment. Oh, got paper stuck in mine. Okay, so scoring attachment. Or you'll need a paper trimmer and a simply scored or something like that, okay? Because you will be doing some scoring. All right, you'll need your scissors more than likely, and you'll take your pit tool if you've got one, but you definitely need a bone folder and a trimmer that you can score on. All right, hopefully some more people will join us, and if they are, they can get started. So the purpose of mystery stamping, as if you're new to it, is that we use your supplies to create something, all right? So, and you don't know what it is until the end. So that gives you some freedom to not get caught up in, well, what's the finished product going to look like? Because sometimes when you go to a class, you go, oh, my card needs to look like that. And you spend your whole time focusing on what your card needs to look like, that you don't actually look at, enjoy the process, and you don't let your creativity take a bit of hold, okay? So, the optional items, sorry, you'll need, if you're using a die cutting machine, you'll need that, and your ribbon, your Wink of Stella, and your embellishments, okay? So, when you are crafting along at home, what I need you to do is, when you have done your step, you're going to type done and the number of the clue in the column, in the comments. So if you have clue number 1, you type clue 1, all you type was done 1 when you finish that, okay? And if there's no one stamping along at home, I'll just be showing you the clues, and I'll be stamping off screen so that I can sort of time it a bit. It's a bit crooked. Let's see if we're straighter now. Okay, I'm still trying to get my camera to work. And so, Jodie, what's the weather like down there in South Australia? I hope it's better than here. My poor husband's outside doing pavers, and he wanted to hammer them down, and I won't let him do that because it's noisy. But yeah, all right. So let's go for clue number 2. We're ready to get stamping. So on your circle piece, which is this piece here, it's very cool and cloudy. Oh, yeah. Well, it's snow down south. Like, what is that? You got It's snow in the southern parts of Australia and we're having a heat wave. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to stamp on our first piece. If you're not stamping, you can use a die cut image, or you're going to stamp and colour in. Excuse me for rustling in the background. Okay. So you might be decide you wanted to use an image from some pattern paper or something like that. So you prep that bit now. Okay. So the next, so when you've done that bit, just type clue 1 and done. Oh, it's about 15. Oh goodness. So it's about half the temperature there, Jodie. Oh dear. I would love to have it half the temperature that it is now, or even half the humidity. I said it was going to be about 90% humidity today. So the circle is, the white circle is approximately 2 3/8 of an inch across, but you can make it 2.5. Just depends on what you've got. So if you've got a 2.5 inch punch, use that. Okay. I use the layering circles dies to cut my circles. So yeah. I might just leave the clue number 1 clue there. Okay. And if you're doing some die cutting or anything like that, you put that on your circle with your dimensionals. Okay. Yeah, so when you've done that clue, just type clue done to, so we know where we're going. Right, it looks like we've got a small mystery stamping group today. That's okay. And I must tell you, it is a quick card today. It's not, well, you could make it take hours, but it's not generally designed to take hours. Okay. All right, well, I think that we're, all right, you'll find it later. All right, Jodie, that's great. Okay. So we're now up to clue number 3. So this is time for some more stamping. So this is your large piece of white you're going to be, or vanilla you're going to be stamping on, or if you can use a neutral coloured cardstock, so you might be using crumb cake or something like that. So this piece is 5.5 inches by 3 3/4. Okay, so what you want to do for this one is the clue says stamp your sentiment on here centered left to right, and your sentiment should be no wider than 3 centimeters. Okay, so you can put it anywhere in that middle 3 centimeters. Okay. So I'll tell you a funny story. I was talking to a friend the other day, and she had bought the rainy day suite, and she goes, wouldn't it be great if it came with dies? And I just looked at her and I said, well, it does come with dies. And she goes, oh, it does too. She'd unpacked the dies and promptly put them away in her box. And so she couldn't find them. So my tip to you is take your dies out of your paper packaging, out of their plastic packaging, and stick them in the front of your, what is this thing called? The front of your stamp case. I can't think of my words today. Right. And the other tip is to draw around them your dies so you know where they actually go. Because as you can see here, I didn't do that. And so now I've got to play die Tetris to work out where the dies actually go and how they all fit back together. But that's not a bad thing. It gives me something to fill the time, hey? Anyway. So, but I just thought it was so funny that my friend was like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we came with dies? And when it does. So when you finish your clue number 3, type 3 and done. So you can also do some decorating on the inside of your card as well. If you want to do some extra stamping. All right. But I'm going to keep going since no one's stamping along at home. Alright. So we're ready for clue number 4. Are we ready for clue 4? You ready to hear clue 4, Jodie? I know you're not stamping along at home, but let's get started on clue number 4. Clue number 4. So now we're going to put our stamped bits aside. Okay. And we're going to grab our piece of pattern paper. Now remember, our pattern paper was 3 inches by 6 inches. Okay. And we need to grab our trimmer. Now, hi Lorraine, thanks for popping in and watching. Who else have we got popped in and watching? I can't see. Alright, let's go. So here we're up to clue number 4. So this is our scoring. Now you'll see here, my paper is directional, alright? So these are raindrops. I don't know if you can see that. Here, so I want to, from my bottom edge, I want to score 3 3/8. So this is 1/8 of an inch shorter than, it's 1/8 of an inch shorter than my white card. Okay, and there is a good reason for this. And sorry, it's 3 5/8 of an inch more. God, it's not much fun doing this when you have a migraine starting. Let me tell you, it's pretty hideous. So I'm going to score this, so it'll be 1/8 of an inch longer than my white. I couldn't read because that's what happens when I get a migraine. I can't see, but at least I am not being sick now. All right, so we've scored it, so it's on your top edge. So directionally it's going this way, it's on your top edge. You've got a little a little flap that you're going to fold over and you're going to burnish it. Okay. Now, if I can find my bone folder. Oh, it's over here. Alright. So we're just going to burnish that nicely. Now, if you're in North America, as I said, your score mark will be approximately 1/8 of an inch longer than your vanilla piece. So if you've got a vanilla piece that looks like this, you're going to score so that it's 1/8 of an inch more than your vanilla piece. All right? So I hope that makes sense. So when you finish this clue, just type 4 and done. Okay. Just give you a second to do that. Take a mouthful of coffee. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a really lovely day. It's a bit cloudy out today, even though it's hot. And in my new filming space, I can see what the neighbours are doing in their backyard. I didn't know they had an outdoor area like that. Sorry, I think it's ticky beak now. Alright. Okay, so we're going to move on. Since no one's stamping at home, we're going to move on to the next step, since I've done that step. Okay, so now we're going to attach this pattern paper piece to the back edge of your large white piece. Okay. All right, and we're going to center it left to right. Okay. So something like that, and I don't normally show you, but I know that this is a fun fold card and this could be a little bit tricky for some people. So just like that. So it'll just open up like that. So it covers your stamped bits that you did. So this step is the same for you if you're in the North American market. And you're going to trim off any of your excess at the bottom. Now if you're doing your card left to right, because your pattern goes that way, that's how it'll look. Alright? I didn't do an example that way, I'm sorry. And you want to make sure that it's really, the white is really tucked in well to that score line. Right. So when you've done that, just type 5 and done. Okay, trim, as I said, trim off any excess that you have. At the bottom, so that you've got a nice flush bottom edge. So you could use scissors to do that, or use your paper trimmer. Okay, so we've done clue number 5. Let's have a look at, looks like everybody who's watching would have done that step by now. Let's have a look at clue number 6. So it's time to get layering. The first bit is you're going to layer this piece to your card base, okay? So with this small flap needs to be at the top, okay? Now you can layer that with, you can layer it flat, you can use dimensionals, you can do it however you want, okay? And there should be an equal border around all 4 sides. Now, what I will say to you is make sure you've got some adhesive on that little folded flap, just to make sure it's nice and secure. Okay, so this is a really great layout when you've got lots of stacks of pattern paper. You can do like 6x6 pattern paper, because what you can do is you can do the scoring to make 2 cards at once, sort of thing. So, and there's very little waste, and depending on how you fold, you may have you might adjust the measurements slightly in to suit how you cut your card bases. And you might do all your scoring first and then cut it into 3-inch strips. But you can get out of a 6x6 piece of paper, you might only get 2 cards made with this, but you get 4 cards out of an A4 piece of paper, and you also, it's quick, okay? So when we're doing it here, it's a lot longer than what it would normally be done in real life, okay? All right, so we've got our layered border. Let's move on to clue number 7. So we've got some more layering. So you've got your pattern shape, and you're going to your coloured circle. So mine just happens to have a scalloped edge. It doesn't matter if it's, and I must have die cut that wrong, but that's what embellishments are for. Okay, and then you're going to layer your white circle that you've got your stamped image on top of that. So again, use what you like. As I said, if you don't have a circle and you want to use a square or a rectangle shape, you'll be layering those shapes together. Okay. So as I said, it's a nice quick card to make, and it's made in under 10 steps. Okay, so when we finish that one, we'll move on to the next clue. Now this is the only clue that I think is a little bit tricky. So I'm giving you fair warning, but it's not super tricky. So what you want to do with this, it says secure the layered shapes to the pattern paper, only. You don't want to secure it to the white. So using dimensionals. So you put the dimensionals only on the left side, or the left 3/4 of your, so you want this piece, like, so I've turned it that way. You want this piece not to have any dimensionals or adhesive on it. Let me just demonstrate that. So it's sort of not mystery stamping, because I am showing you a lot today. But I think it's important that you, I talk about these steps so that you don't stick it where you don't want to, because it's harder to fix it than it is to get it to do it this way the first time. So I've got my, it's only on the front 3/4, and what we're going to do is we're going to attach it to our card. So you can put it at the top, bottom, but it needs to be over towards the right of the card so that the dimensionals are not are completely covered. So you'll see here they're completely covered by the there's no dimensionals or adhesive showing in that little strip. Okay. Okay, so it's overlapping. All right, I think everyone might have that one. Okay, does that make sense, Jodie? You've basically got your own private little class today, Jodie. Oh, now look at you. Good, okay. Sometimes when I am like I am today with a migraine, I don't know if people can understand what I'm saying. All right, I think we've had enough time on that clue. So now it's time to embellish your card. So add your bling, add your Winker Stella, add your ribbon. I've got these really cute little embellishments, and I know I've shown them the other day. These are little flowers. They're so super cute. So I'm adding those, and I'm just going to bling it up. I won't spend too much time on this. Now, just because I know everybody's got a busy Saturday morning, and I know I've got a busy Saturday morning. Actually, I haven't. I'm going back to bed. After I take the car back, I'm going back to bed. Yeah. So just add some bling. I left take my picture downstairs, so it's much more difficult to pick up little embellishments when you that like to float around everywhere when you don't have that. Luckily, my scissors have got some adhesive on them, so they're doing the job. Jodie, I know why you weren't ready. You were too busy admiring the flamingo photo that I sent you. Oh, I love that. Yeah, no, I don't really want to be going back to bed, Jodie. I've got way too much to do, but yeah, I think that it's going to be the only way that I don't get a full-scale migraine. Oh, well, I had it last night, and I was pretty sick last night, and so I missed my hairdressing appointment this morning because I couldn't drive there, and so my hairdresser, thankfully, she'll she has rearranged stuff so I can go next week. I'm just taking a little bit of time to put my bling on. Because I'm using lots of bling. Oh, yeah, it's horrible when you miss an appointment like that, Jodie, because she's really hard to get into. Like, I had to book it before Christmas. And she had to rearrange things so I could go at 7:15 this morning. So I would be back in time for mystery stamping. And then, yeah, she then has to rearrange it all together. But she's a really lovely lady, so I'm very lucky. And she's very generous with her time, and if I really desperately needed a haircut, I could go to her house tomorrow and she'd do it. But yeah. Right, I've got 2 more embellishments to put on, and then we will be just about done. I'm keeping it off camera because I want it to be a little bit of a surprise. I know I've shown you some of it. And it's also nice to have a bit of surprise from the clues. And I only stamped once on this card. I've got another sample which I didn't stamp at all. And I'll show you that to you in a second. So don't think that you have to use this layout for whimsical cards, right? You can use it for whatever you like. And I think that it's just a really great, it fits in a great card because it fits in a normal envelope. It's not too bulky. All right, so now our mystery is solved. So this is my mystery stamping card using those instructions. Oops. Okay. So we've got our little turtle. Let's see if we'll raise him up here. Little turtle. And then we open it up. And we've got our little rabbit inside. And rainy days are better with you. So I thought that was super cute. And I used the, I embossed my circle just to add some interest. So if you've got some scraps of embossed cardstock, and you don't have to use white here too, you could use whatever colour you want, right? Whatever goes in with your paper. And then I've just die cut the images from the pattern paper from the suite. And then my other card, which is a bit different, and this is using the paper from the, it's a free paper, celebration paper, and it is super, super cute. I would love to see yours when you finish it, Jodie. And as I said, I haven't stamped on the inside of this one. I just literally threw this together in 5 minutes, and you'll see here when I was trying to get my scoring right. So this is my prototype card. And it doesn't have stamping on the inside because I wasn't sure what to say. And I think it could actually be a nice with sympathy card, because like I know a lot of with sympathy cards are very traditional white, but some people, they don't like that. So I thought this would be a nice alternative for that. And I've put, when I've layered my card, this scallop circle, it actually is on 2 layers of dimensionals to allow for the height of the ribbon. Yeah. And probably I should have stamped down the bottom or something like that. And you can stamp so that it appears underneath. So I'm going to play with that layout a little bit more. But as I said, it's a really quick, fun layout. You get lots of cards. And if you're anything like me, you've got so much pattern paper that you need to use it so that you can get more beautiful pattern paper. So this is a great layout to show you how to use that. Okay, hope you have a fabulous Saturday. I'm going to go downstairs and tell my husband that he can start hammering his pavers, and I'm going to go back to bed for a little while and get rid of this headache. But hope you have a fabulous day and a fabulous weekend, and until next time, happy creating. Bye for now.